to the third graduation ceremony of Metro Montessori Middle School. Thank you for joining us today. We're gathering together to celebrate the growth and the development, the work, the contributions of 10 people. The faculty believe that, well, you do too, that you've led each other through so many adventures, so many times of deep thinking, heated discussions, hard work, moments of tears, times of laughter. Our school will not be quite the same without you. And it's really hard to believe this is your last hour of middle school, isn't it? None of these students could be where they are today as a person without the teachers. So I want to acknowledge Marcia Thomas, John Erickson, Andrea Soleil Swanson, and Jimmy Woods, and Nancy Coronado. And also for all of you, the parents, the grandparents, the special people in these students' lives. You have been a part of guiding them. Big thank you to all of you for the part that you have played. We celebrate your work today too. And now the graduates have a few words to share about their experiences.
Thank you for being here for us on our graduation day. We know we are all so fortunate to have unanimous support from family in our school. We've all grown so much this year, and we are very excited to share with you how much we've changed and matured in these past 2 years. While we are our own independent people who are learning unique lessons, we have learned how to work cohesively as a group.
Today we are going to share our memories and thoughts on our journey through Metro Montessori Middle School and Childpeace Montessori. We have all had such life-changing experiences. For example, none of us will ever forget seeing a baby goat in its first hours of life. It is also the compilation of all of the everyday experiences, like having off-campus privileges, sorting out arguments, or riding the Metro in DC, that can be just as life-changing. We hope in the coming years the students at Metro will have an experience as fulfilling as ours.
Some of us have been here most of our lives, but for others this is only our first or second year. In this time, we have grown immensely and learned how to work together, taking in each new person. In all of our individual journeys, we have become a family.
The Metro experience has guided each and every one of us through the rocky roads of adolescence. We have all had troubles during this stage in our lives, but by facing them, we have all come out in one piece. Because of this experience, we have all feel very ready for high school next year and the next chapter in our lives. Metro is the guides who have taught and led us through challenges and joys. The staff and administration, like Sue Pritzker, our dedicated head of school, who has enabled this program. And finally, Metro is the experience and education that we have all learned from.
In Metro, we have formed meaningful memories together. One of the first memories that I have with the group is the Odyssey trip. Each year, on the second day of school, our class goes on a 10-day excursion. The Odyssey is an empowering experience with people who are strangers who create community. I remember being really nervous to go on the trip my first year, but Metro's caring environment really made me feel that I was among family. The adventures that we went on during the Odyssey will live in my memory, from milking goats at Gearcrest to sandboarding down the dunes on the Oregon coast.
There are parts of Metro that we will not forget for a long time. Things like individual research projects. Even though they have been challenging, they are memorable and taught us a lot. We also have a schedule that advances our learning, with math, Spanish, and occupations in the morning, and in the afternoon, microeconomy. This is where we run our own businesses with class and sell products to the public. We'll use things we have learned in these classes, like advanced math, advanced Spanish, and research on a variety of topics, as well as learning how businesses function.
We have also had some fun experiences in class. Yes, I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. We have been given the chance to have a lot of experiences together that we wouldn't have been able to otherwise. It has helped us come together and make Metro a place where we not only learn, but we also have a good time. One of the fun things that we've done is go to the Portland Art Museum to watch a movie about poetry slams. It was an interesting movie that highlighted some of the challenges and struggles that all people face. The poems that the students wrote made us laugh, cry, and even think. In the end, we were able to meet one of the poets in the movie, who shared with us one of his newer poems. Through all of our joint experiences, we have become not just a class, but also a family. I've shared so many unforgettable memories with each and every person standing with me today. I know things about them I didn't before, and have grown so close to them.
One of the culminating things that we do as a class is the end of the year trip. Although both trips were memorable, DC has left a lasting impression on us. For some of us, it was the first time that we had felt real independence, to try out things that we wouldn't usually do. For others, it was a chance to bond with friends and to make some new ones. But for all, it was an experience that changed us profoundly.
One of the best parts was the night tour of the monuments. It was really awe-inspiring to see these places where they were honoring people that we'd only heard about. These monuments were beyond life-size in every way. Not only were they hundreds of feet tall, but the inspiration that it provided was beyond expectation. It gave us a sense of connection, both to each other and our country. We've had such an impactful time in Metro, and we'll remember these memories for the rest of our lives.
Before this year, I did not want to have kids. No, honestly, I didn't. And then Andrea returned with her new baby, Penelope, and my opinion of babies changed. I realized they weren't always pooping and in need of a diaper change. I mean, I never really noticed babies when I was in public unless they were crying. I realized babies could be cute, cuddly, and happy, and moody. I also realized that it was extremely nice to be able to enjoy holding the baby while not having to change its diapers. I think that our maturity has increased dramatically from having a baby in the classroom. The responsibility of holding a baby while her mother leaves class for a second is something that not all 8th graders get to experience. I think that that experience has prepared me more for life than anything else in the past 2 years.
Some may say that a school day is something boring, not something to be excited for. Sometimes, though, it's almost like coming home. We're family. We squabble like siblings and yell at each other, and then the next day we can't wait to see each other again. When someone's feeling down or unhappy, others will cheer that person up. We're a really small class, with only 10 people, but that's more than enough for a family. We're a team. Teams stay strong through hardship, and I dare say that in these 2 years that we've known each other, we've gone through a lot. We look out for each other, and we always have each other's best interests in mind. Whether it's remembering birthdays or something special, we're always there. There's always someone to lean on if you need to, and there's always someone who will come to your defense no matter what.
Our class is very strong-willed, opinionated, and we definitely have a lot of confidence. Now, some people would say that that's not a good thing, that it makes us squabble and that we're too stubborn. And that's true. We are stubborn, and we do squabble. But really, it's sometimes a good thing. Our squabbling leads to some great debates about the great American novel, about classical books, and even political problems. Our stubbornness makes us never back down, and our strong opinions sometimes pull us together. We group together in debates. We're confident about what we believe in, and that will guide us for years to come.
I've been at Childpeace Montessori for 2 years, and next year I'll be attending St. Mary's Academy. I want to start off by thanking my parents. You guys have always been there for me, encouraging and telling me to never give up no matter what. I want to thank my friends, both those here and at my old school. You've held up with me when things got bad, and you've also been there for me, cheering for me on the sidelines. And lastly, I want to thank my teachers. Andrea, for being an awesome writing teacher, telling me to go outside my comfort zone and pushing me to try my hardest to improve my writing. Jimmy, for encouraging me to for teaching me all about what goes on in the world, and for always being a happy, cheerful presence in our classroom. John, for encouraging me to try new things and learn to fix a bike, for telling me to get down and get my hands dirty, and for always making us laugh. Marcia, for helping me to learn to quit questioning myself in math and learn to do it myself and think. And finally, Nancy, for helping me grow in Spanish class and further expand my language library. Thank you, everyone, for helping me to become the person that I am today.
I've been at Childpeace for give or take 10 years and 2 months. Next year, I'll be going to Lincoln. Now, I don't have very much time, and there are a lot of people I could thank. First, I'd like to thank my parents for everything, and I mean everything, from paying for my education to all those little things that I never really get to thank them for. Next, I'd like to thank my friends and classmates because they're amazing and my favorite part of coming to school. I also want to thank all the teachers I've ever had because they've taught me so much. I especially want to thank Jimmy, Marcia, John, Andrea, and Nancy. They've taken on what are probably some of the scariest years to teach, and they've done a great job. So thanks to everyone.
I've been at Childpeace for 11 years. Next year, I will be attending Lincoln High School. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me get this far. All of my teachers, especially these past 2 years, for helping me through all the ups and downs of life, and for teaching me so much. Thank you for teaching me the skills I will use for the rest of my life, and preparing me so well. Thank you to my friends for always being there and supporting me. You guys are the best. Thank you to my siblings for helping me and putting up with me. I love you guys. Lastly, I want to thank my parents. Thank you for caring for me and always being there for me. Thank you for the opportunity to go to this incredible school and have so many opportunities. Thank you for supporting me in all of my decisions and for helping me get where I want to go. Thank you for everything you have done and will continue to do for me.
I have been here for 1 full year, and next year I will go to Central Catholic High School. I'd like to thank my parents for letting me get this experience. I'd like to thank all the teachers for letting us do a lot of cool stuff this year. I would like to thank Jimmy for directing our occupations and humanities throughout the year. I would like to thank John for teaching us about businesses throughout this whole year. I would like to thank Nancy for teaching me some of the first advanced Spanish classes I've had. I would like to thank Andrea for teaching me more about reading and writing and other literary abilities. And finally, I'd like to thank Marcia for organizing and directing things we do in our class. I would also like to thank my classmates for being very fun and happy this year.
I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack. But when I came to Metro for the first time, I knew my wolf pack would grow. At first by 1, then by 2, and 3, and so on. Last year, I had to part from some of my wolf pack, but 9.5 months ago, I knew my wolf pack would once again be full. Next year, I'm going to Legacy High School. Thank you.
I've been a Childpeace Montessori for 4 years now, and will be attending the Spanish immersion program at Lincoln High School next year. I appreciate everyone who helped and guided me through this experience. I'm very fortunate to have had this opportunity. Thank you to my wonderful parents and lovely family for your constant love and support. Thank you to the amazing guides and wonderful friends that have made this experience so incredible.
I have been here at Childpeace for 11 years, and I'll be going to Grant High School next year. First, I would like to say thank you to Lisa, my children's house teacher, Claire, my lower elementary teacher, and Greg, my upper elementary teacher. I would also like to thank all of my teachers that I have had for these past 2 years in Metro. All of these teachers have helped me to mature and become a better person, and also they have taught me many things. Next, I want to thank all of my friends that I have had because all of them have always been there for me and have made me feel very comfortable in this environment. Last, I want to thank my parents. You guys have supported me my entire life and have also showed me how much I am loved. So thank you.
I would like to give a special thank you to Greg Lawrence, my guide through what I consider to be the most influential part of my time here at Childpeace. Thank you for always giving me the right answers to all my questions, even when they went unasked. Finally, I would like to thank my parents. They have paid for my entire education so far, and they have always been there to help me out when I have a problem. Dad, you always helped me with my math, and not only did you help me solve the problems, you taught me how to do them. You paid for all of my SSAT prep and helped me through that. Mom, you were able to be there for me when I needed motivation when everything seemed like too much. Thank you so much for always being there for me.
I have been here at Childpeace for 11 First, I want to thank my parents for their everlasting love and support of me. They help me to grow and become the best person I can be. I also want to thank my sister for being my best friend no matter what and for always being the one to make me laugh. Next, I would like to thank all my teachers throughout my experience here because they have devoted a lot of time to helping me grow, both as a student and as an individual. I would like to extend a special thank you to Michelle, Becca, and Greg Lawrence. I would like to thank Sue Pritzker for not only giving her all to our group, but also individually caring for us. Lastly, I want to thank all my friends for being there to support me. Thank you.
Well, Eleanor has just completely made it impossible for me to speak, so I'll do my best. Well, what can I say? I have this little speech and it'll be in your books, but what I can say for this group and the group that came before you is that you have taught us so much about how to be with you. And it's been an amazing journey to watch some of you for 11 years. Truly, they are the same people that they were when they were 18 months. They're in bigger bodies and their personalities were able to blossom. It's really a joy. I may have said many times that I was a person that was going to say, we'll never do a middle school, or at least not while I'm here, but watching all of you go through this experience, you are so prepared for what you're about to do. I guarantee you that you have skills that other ninth graders that you're going to be working alongside with do not possess because of the relationship that you have shared with each other, with your teachers, resources that you have had. They will look the same as you and they'll talk the same as you, but inside you carry a gift that came from being part of something so organic here that it's going to carry you all the way through your high school years. So really thank you so much for teaching us how to be good administrators, good teachers. You created some problems for us that we did not know how to solve, but we put our heads together and figured it out. And finally, I'd like to say thank you because whether you know it or not, everyone in this school, from the tiniest child to your peers, look at you as the leaders. One thing in Montessori with these mixed age groups is leadership is very important. We're always looking up to the people that are, above us. And I know you didn't all realize it, but you really did set a shining example for every student, child, and toddler in this building. And you really did. Don't worry about, you can burn all your regrets. They're gone when you walk out the door, okay? We actually love you for some of those things that you did that we didn't know what to do with. So what I would say to you is a final little quote, and that is, a woman named Elizabeth Foley said these words: "Friends in your life are like pillars on your porch. Sometimes they hold you up, and sometimes they lean on you, and sometimes it's just enough to know that they're standing by." And that's what you're taking with you. And before I finish today, we have a little bit of a new tradition that we started this year at Childpeace, and that was to thank those of you parents who are leaving Childpeace, even if you've been here a short time, for all that you've contributed to our community. So would we have, first of all of the parents of the 8th graders stand up. Moms and dads of 8th graders, let's give them a round of applause. And we have a little gift for you and a little thank you note, so as I call your name, I hope you'll come up and receive it. Sharon, well, I'll let Sharon receive it for the finance. Sharon, for everything you have done for us, there's no way to say thank you. see some of these parents and I think of the things we moved together or the closets that we cleaned out. And so nice to have the Osgood family back with us, even for a short time. Thanks. And the majors, there you are. Ruth and Peter, major. And Kim and Stephen Smith. Very basic things about Montessori education is that we live in community, and from the very earliest age we give the children the opportunity to share of themselves what they have to share. And as our children move through our program, they in 6th grade take on a service project that's something very special to them that they do all year. And in Metro, we really encourage the students to move beyond our walls and go outside and really take part in community service at a higher level. So each year we provide or offer a community service award to our students that have completed and documented. That means you have to send in the paperwork too. That for 30 hours of service in their community. This year we have 4 students that completed that assignment, meaning that they went out, outside of the school, and at least 2/3 of their time was outside. Some of the work could be done with the service projects that the group took on as a whole. So we would like to honor today with an award the following 4 students. First, Nick Billick. Leah Messenger. Kate LeBlanc. And Sophia McDermott. Hoping that all of you will continue that effort to reach out in your community and give your great gifts.
Well, I get to give out the first, give the first graduate to you. So I'm introducing Nick Billick. Nick, it's my pleasure to introduce Nick. You've just met him, but he's been a Montessori student for most of his life. And he joined the Metro community for his final year of middle school. His qualities of steady character, work ethic, and willingness to be of service wherever needed were immediately noticeable and immediately an asset to our group. He has an inquisitive, scientific mind and poses questions about physics and astronomy and plants that never would occur to us, and we usually can't answer them. Whenever our class was at the natural world, he's shown curiosity about it, and it leads him to identify and understand the plants and animals he sees. And his eye in photography reveals some of the beauty that he sees that the others of us might miss. His depth and intelligence are quietly held, not touted, so we feel fortunate that he's come to Metro and shared some of this with us. We're grateful to have known him this year and wish him many successes in his journey that he's beginning as a high school student at Central Catholic.
Next we have Miss Marika. Some of the goals of our adolescent program are that each of our students will leave us feeling more confident, more academically prepared for high school and for college and beyond, and more aware of their place in the community. These are really lofty goals to attain, but Marika has achieved each of them with flying colors. Marika came to us fresh out of 6th grade. She was a bit quiet and could be a little bit hard on herself at times, and she's always been willing to go the extra mile in her work, but she often felt the need to check in with us for each step of her process. As the last 2 years have progressed, Marika has become notably more self-confident and more outspoken. She truly has seemed to blossom before our eyes, developing a self-awareness that inspires everyone around her.
When I first met Marika, I saw an incredible excitement for learning, specifically in her need to understand the world using a scientific way of thinking. Her curiosity for biology, chemistry, especially applied forensics, has been a boon for the program. Has inspired us to make the work that we do here more clearly tied to the integrated science understandings the students will need for high school. That being said, I have seen that Marika has the drive to discover and understand anything that's been presented to her, so I have only excitement to see how far she goes from here.
Anyone who knows Marika knows that she has a voracious appetite for literature. She devours books at an incredible rate, and her passion for language is evident in both English, French, Spanish, and Chinese. She is quite the polyglot, as we've talked about. Not only does Marika have a passion for reading, she is also an avid writer. She has a natural gift for coming up with plots, characters, and conflicts, and she also enjoys killing off characters. In her descriptions, she works with musicians. Wait, what? She works with words as a musician works with a fine instrument. Sorry. She is one of the few students to have participated in NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month in November, creating a novel by the end of the month, and she's done that twice. I hope that Marika continues to send us her written works because they really bring us great joy to read.
One last telling fact about Marika. Every day this year, she made a point to smilingly bid her teachers farewell as she left the building. And that grace was appreciated by all of us. So I wish, I hope, and I suspect that Marika will fare better than well as she goes off to high school at St. Mary's and beyond. Congratulations. Good luck.
Jack brought vitality, humor, political enthusiasm, passion for debate, and a gift for storytelling to our middle school. From his first visit as a 6th grade shadow to the last day of school, he has shown the exceptional ability to hold an audience spellbound with his stories. I don't know yet how future campfires at our Odyssey trips will be equally successful without his scary stories. He has an ease with life and a charisma that holds the attention of even the smallest member of our community, yes, Poppy. Jack's rendition of Prince Humperdinck in our production of Princess Bride, his role as Grandma versus the lawyer in Fairy Tale Courtroom, and even his scene-stealing walk-on as a subway passerby in Reverse Exposé showed us that he should further be encouraged to apply that charisma to drama. Take drama classes. Well, there were a few areas where Jack liked to thoroughly conserve his energy at school. His PE teacher reports that he brought 100% fearless energy to games and competition at Pearl Court. We've heard that Lake Oswego High School water polo team is going to be the recipient of this enthusiasm. We all wish Jack well in his years at Lake Oswego High School.
Before I bring up Sophia, I would like to acknowledge the Metro graduates we have with us, Georgia, Edie, and Eloise. Thanks for being here. It has been such a privilege to be able to just sit back and observe Sophia coming out of her shell in the past couple years. Getting up in front of groups and sharing her very capable and excellent work was low, very low, on the list of life experiences she hoped for. But then she slowly and methodically worked through her natural shyness and now appears to be completely at ease in front of groups. She has prepared a song she'd like to do now. Later at the party. Her work in the play last year with a central role was so wonderful to watch, and she was able to draw on her own character to bring her stage persona to life in a most delightful way. I remember meeting Sophia for the first time. It was during the art run. I was putting some serious pressure on the front runners, except for a couple, and one of them was this flying girl who lapped me. I said, "Who is that girl?" And I had to find out, and so I met Sophia, and I told her that she should consider cross-country running. Little did I know she is an accomplished soccer player, but as always, she's very quiet and modest about her many accomplishments on the field. Now, why Sophia ended up with a nickname like Mindy, we'll never know, but there it is. And so we have a quote from a famous Mindy, Mindy Kaling, who said, "I just want ambitious teenagers to know it is totally fine to be quiet, observant kids. Besides being a delight to your parents, you will find you have plenty of time later to catch up." Mindy Kaling from Everyone is Everyone Hanging Out With Me. And now Sophia, no matter where your path takes you, we send you our best wishes and encouragements to you as you begin your high school career.
Mason is a student who both stands apart from his peers, but is also deeply enmeshed within the group. Kind of a walking contradiction. Mason takes his unique look at life, he has a unique look at life, and has an individual way of better understanding the world. The work he enjoys doing is hands-on and experimental. Sorry, I mean this. Mason enjoys the doing aspect of problem solving. In a world that needs people who do, I know that Mason will go on to be appreciated for his ability to troubleshoot and apply his understandings to real-life situations.
Mason is a very passionate young man who has the ability to fully engage with his work. He's had very notable debates and discussions throughout our years together. He could be trusted to light the fire in others too. I'm thinking about several debates and discussions that Mason really got going. Our 2 Great American Novel debates over the past 2 years gave Mason the chance to argue heartily and passionately for his books. Our Humanity on the Philosophy of Revolution also pulled Mason in as he first incited a revolution in our simulation and then acted as Michael Collins in our Irish Revolution debate. He has been a very vocal participant in many global connections discussions too. When preparing an opposing viewpoint against Mason, it's always good to be thoroughly prepared because he knows how to get his point across convincingly.
Anyone who's ever been lucky enough to have a non-debate discussion with Mason will find that he is genuine, witty, perceptive, and confident. And his ability to be outgoing and gregarious is a great strength that will serve him very well as he advocates for those who aren't, or those who can't be. One thing that I will miss above many others next year are the quick and cordial conversations that he will now be having with his future fortunate high school teachers. I will be glad for the days when Mason can return to continue those conversations and share his thoughts and feelings on high school life and all that it is offering.
Lastly, it has been very endearing to see the softer, compassionate side of Mason. While we saw this tender side previously to the school year, we hadn't seen it quite as strongly as when Penelope became part of our community. Mason particularly took to Poppy, who in turn took to him too, seeing him almost like a big brother. Poppy became happier when she was being held by Mason, and he became more settled holding her in class. Mason has had times where he was a good role model for her, and these are certainly times to cherish. We will miss you so much, and we hope that our conversations, travels, car chats, and projects will live on for you in years to come as they will live on for us.
I've been somewhat concerned for quite a long time, really, about Olivia's lack of presence in the moment. You'd look and there'd be a kind of vacancy and a real problem with absences. She set a record, actually. She was absent for more than a year and a half. It's a troubling trend. But then a sudden shift happened, and Olivia became very present. During her long absence, somehow she became a really wonderful writer with a keen intellect and wry sense of humor. She also became a gifted artist. She is a very insightful thinker, and my only regret is that she wasn't with us for 2 years. She obviously made the most of her time in Barcelona, where she attended the American School of Barcelona. I so enjoyed watching Olivia step gingerly into our metro community and then just become part of the fabric. She is joyful to be with, and I've never heard her say an unkind thing. She is just such an excellent human being. I know I speak for all of us, teachers and students alike, when I say thank you for spending your last few months of middle school here with us at Metro. I know you will have great success at Lincoln High School, and we all warmly wish you the very best.
Lily O'Brien is a joyful, graceful, and beautiful spirit who came to the Childpeace community when she was a 3-year-old in 2002, I think 2002. I just realized that this is the last class that was born in the 1900s. The next group will all be born in the year 2000. She brings energy, integrity, and effort to all that she does. She is talented, disciplined, and accomplished as a ballerina and violinist. This discipline shows up frequently in the classroom, especially in her student creative writing and her art projects. She also began applying that discipline to contain the happiness about work in Metro that often caused her to break into spontaneous song during class. This mastery came just in time for her entry into high school and her years at Grant. Lily's leadership skills and her stage background were highlighted last week as she was the director of one of our plays. It was not an easy task to be put in charge of one's adolescent peers, yet Lily stepped up to the tall order. She has an especially caring and compassionate heart. In class discussion and service concerns, her attention has gone to both human and animal suffering. May the rainbows that she continually draws and creates continue to inspire her onward to nudge society toward what it should be.
Before we bring Eleanor up, we would like to mention that, in fact, there is a 1999 birthday out there still. What? All right, Eleanor. It's real. The metaphor of students coming to us as diamonds in the rough and leaving as brightly shining gems is never really quite accurate. Students shine at whatever age they are. I know that Eleonora shone brightly at an early age because her Children's House guide, Michelle Becca, described the happily intense, focused behaviors we still see today. That being said, I do see students come in with pre-adolescent writing abilities and leave with adult-level skills. No one exemplifies that shift more than Eleonora. During these past 2 years, she has discovered her writer's voice and now writes fiercely with passion and grace and wit and precision. Eleonora takes all of her work seriously and takes great pride in producing an excellent outcome. And in so doing, she has learned the all-important skill of balancing sports and school. She's done a great job of using time wisely to complete her work and stayed very competitive in the pool at the same time. Even during her time in the elementary grades, Eleonora was someone we noticed. She has a big presence and she is a person with a mission. And I look forward with great anticipation to hear about Eleonora's progress and exploits at Lincoln High School. Congratulations and good luck.
Kate very much embodies the Montessori adolescent program as Maria Montessori envisioned it. She is grounded, self-motivated, caring, socially engaged, and a very diligent worker. Kate expects the most out of herself and from those around her, which raises the bar of each person in her vicinity. Kate's intrinsic drive pushes her to achieve at high levels, while fueling her curiosity to continue to learn. She is a model student that is always eager and excited to learn.
Kate is also eager to help her peers learn as she leads them through problems, projects, activities, and discussions. She's shown herself to not only have the motivation to lead, but the ability. I have high hopes for Kate as I know that she has lofty goals for herself as well. Whether she grows up to be a doctor or a lawyer or the president, whatever. I know that she will have gotten there intentionally and through her hard work. This ability to lead, drive to achieve, and confidence sets Kate apart as someone whose journey through life will be marked by great accomplishments.
As you know, grace and courtesy are two key pieces of the Montessori philosophy, and Kate demonstrates these wonderfully on a daily basis. She is aware of the feelings of the people around her, and she steps out of herself to reach out to those who need a caring word. There have been many times when Kate sat with a peer, talking them through their struggles and helping them to process their emotions, especially when we're away from home like in DC. Her compassion has strengthened our community, and it will be greatly missed.
This compassion, caring, and willingness to give has been particularly warmly felt as Kate helped organize Andrew's baby shower last year, and then my own last week. Kate's ability to push herself hard, but also to take the time out of a busy day to look out for others around her is going to move her very far in life, and it will help her form lasting friendships along the way, like those that you formed with your teachers here. So, although we are sad to watch you go, we are very happy to watch you move ahead. So good luck, and come visit whenever you can.
Can we get all the graduates to stand up now?